Gansu is China's poorest province and known for millennia-old murals in the Mogao grottos. One of the poorest cities in the province is Qingyang. During the city's anti-pornography campaign, task force members arrived at the hotel for an inspection and saw an older woman fleeing the hotel, looking disheveled and panicked. This caught people's attention. It turned out the woman was the city's deputy mayor, Wu Lihua. Some call Wu the most sex-crazed woman in China. So who is she, and why are Chinese officials so corrupt? You will be surprised to hear the answers by Wu's counterpart, the most sex-crazed male official in China. Hi everyone, welcome to Leisrealtalk. I'm Lei. China has many corrupt officials whose illegal activities usually stem from their insatiable appetite for money and sex. Some are men, some are women. The deputy mayor of Gansu, Wu Lihua, is one such official. When investigators tried to understand why this 58-year-old woman was fleeing the hotel not appropriately dressed, they were shocked to discover that she had spent 380,000 yuan or $55,000 and checked into this hotel 265 times in 2022. The hotel was her pleasure chamber where she met young men for sex. Wu Lihua came from a poor rural family in Gansu. Her father worked hard to send her to school. After obtaining an associate degree, she started working for the government in the education department as a human resources clerk. She was 19 years old. Her youth and good looks were her biggest assets in an environment dominated by male bureaucrats. Wu worked hard, but realized that a good work ethic during the day wouldn't necessarily get her promoted. So, setting her eyes on certain male leaders, she started to work hard at night. But Wu had bad luck. The men she put her hopes in didn't do much for her career. Her busy physical activities at night caused her to suffer from a severe lack of sleep, and she was always listless at work during the day. She was the subject of whispers among colleagues, and the rumors reached the ears of one senior leader. The senior leader was well aware of Miss Wu's ambitions and the price she was willing to pay. He arranged an opportunity to be with her alone. There were bottles of wine, poker cards, and a bed, of course, and the two played the games with great fervor. From then on, Wu Lihua's career advanced rapidly, like bamboo shoots breaking through the ground. At age 28, she became the deputy party secretary of a county in Gansu. As she moved up the ladder, she met more men who had more power. Applying her secret code to career advancement, she moved on to higher positions. However, the local Gansu people despised her for not doing much for them. She served as the party secretary of Zhening County for 10 years, during which time the county remained the poorest among all counties in the region, with the lowest GDP. As Wu worked her way up and obtained more power, she became obsessed with her power and how she could use it. Like her male counterparts, she turned her power into sexual favors. She maintained a network of a few dozen young men who served her in bed. One report said that the number was as high as 90. How did she find these men? She once met a businessman who was eagerly bidding for a government contract. Wu found him attractive. She scheduled a meeting and promised to help him win the contract if he would do her a favor. That evening, the man showed up at Wu's hotel, and as he opened the door, she was already in a double-sized bathtub waiting for him. Wu's targets included her subordinates, government contractors, business associates, or any men she set her eyes on. Her associates actively recruited young men for her. One Chinese media described the scene below in a report. In a private room of a high-end club, a middle-aged woman sat on a large leather chair with an air of pride and authority, like a queen selecting her male consorts. She commanded while looking indifferently at her attendants. "Bring me the young men I like." Shortly, one attendant brought in more than half a dozen handsome, fresh-faced young men. Some looked a little shy, some were drawn by the woman's queen-like aura. The attendant instructed them, "Say hello to Madame Wu." The young man shouted in unison, "Hello, Madame Wu." As Madame Wu aged, she was concerned with her looks. She became obsessed with cosmetic surgeries, and she needed money. To maintain her lifestyle, she needs more and more money. She received bribes, the amount of which totaled tens of millions of yuan, and this got her caught. She was arrested in April 2023, and 1 year later, she was sentenced to 14 years in prison and 1 million yuan fine. Wu Lihua isn't alone. There's Dai Lu, the deputy director of a district business bureau in Yangzhou City, who was caught on camera having sex with the deputy mayor in her wedding chamber. The person who reported them was her newlywed husband, who is also a city official. There's also Tao Lifang, who joined China Southern Airlines as a temp worker, and in 3 years rose to become the airline's deputy chief accountant at age 27. She slept with her superior at hotels 410 days in 2.5 years. That's on average 5 days a week. Corruption has become systemic in CCP politics, and it isn't easy for anyone to come out clean. Xu Qiyao was the head of the construction department in Gansu province and was famous for having 146 mistresses. She can be called the most sex-crazed male official. In a letter, he gave his son, who was graduating from college, 8 pieces of advice on being an official. The letter is very insightful. "My child, since you've decided to pursue a political career, you must take the advice I gave below to heart. 1. Do not seek the truth. Do not try to understand the truth of the matter. Let the intellectuals pursue truth. That's their business. Remember this, anything beneficial to you is correct. Let's put it this way. What the superiors advocate is simply correct. 2. Learn to tell lies and be good at it. Treat lying as a habit, no, as a career. Lie to the extent that you can convince yourself it's true. Being an official is most similar to being a prostitute, with the difference being that an official sells his mouth. Remember, once you become an official, your mouth is no longer yours. 3. You should have academic credentials, but not true knowledge, for true knowledge will destroy you. With knowledge, you will think independently, and independent thinking is a big taboo in politics. Remember, a real PhD will never become an official. 4. What's the purpose of being an official? It's for getting benefits. You must tirelessly seize all kinds of benefits. Some call this corruption. You must clearly define the seizure of various benefits as the purpose of being an official, and it's the only purpose. Remember, once the purpose of seizing benefits becomes vague, failure is not too far away. 5. You must know how to manage relations first before doing the work. Don't misunderstand this as having both integrity and talent. Whether you know how to do the work doesn't matter. Managing relations means weaving yourself into the network around you, becoming a part of that network. Haha, those who mistake ability as job performance are in for rough days. 6. No matter how much our society appears to change, it's essentially a peasant society. The way you work must be the same as farmers, focusing on short-term gains, being very short-sighted. Once you look too far ahead, you no longer belong here, and the consequences are unimaginable. 7. Believe that flattering is a high art. Never think that flattery is just about being shameless. Flattery is to gain the appreciation of superiors. In a society ruled by a centralized power, the appreciation of superiors is the only path to advancement. Everything else is a formality. You must not overlook this. 8. All laws, regulations, and policies are not to be strictly followed. To put it precisely, they can all be flexible in practice. I am speechless. Xu's letter reviewed the reality of CCP politics and the mindset of Chinese officials. The author was removed from power in the year 2000, and his letter was written before that. Chinese society has become even more corrupt in the past 20+ years, and the degree of depravity is unimaginable. In the scheme of things, Ms. Wu Lihua and her obsession with cosmetic surgery and young men seemed like small potatoes. Let me know what you think. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more.